How would your life be different if you were no longer afraid of stuttering? If you no longer anticipated that you were going to get stuck on this word or this letter or saying your name or introducing yourself or being in this situation, if you no longer anticipated, how would your life be different? My name is Michael Williams, and I want you just to stick with me for just a couple of minutes because I'm going to show you how your life can be different a lot sooner than what you might think. If you didn't have to be afraid of stuttering, of getting stuck, of not being able to say something that you wanted to say, would you be in a different career? Would you choose a different job? Would you start your own business? Would you go back to school? Would you speak up more in meetings? Would you speak out more? What would you do? What could you do if you were no longer afraid that you were going to get stuck? I want to ask you that. I want to challenge you to think about that because, believe it or not, there is something that you can do that can help you get to that place a lot faster than what you think. And it's called the Pro 90D speech system. Now, the Pro 90D speech system is something I've been working on for years, and it's progressive, meaning it's not stuck in the past. It's dynamic, it's not static. The Pro 90D speech system is based on the fact that you, now listen, are fully capable of acquiring new skills, of learning new skills, that you are fully capable of developing new habits. We say, well, Michael, you don't even know me. How do you know I can do that? Well, if you're watching this and you're listening to this, it probably means that you've learned how to speak, at least understand English, right? Many of you watching this know multiple languages. Do you know how to drive? Do you know how to tie your shoe? Do you know how to ride a bike? Do you know how to walk? Do you know how to talk? These are all skills and habits that you've been able to develop over your lifetime. Do you know how to play an instrument or play sports? Of course. We all have developed habits. We all have learned skills. And so you're fully capable of learning how to speak more smoothly and fluently and confidently. Now you might be saying, well, Michael, the studies show that people that stutter, there's something wrong with their brains. Well, there's some good news and some bad news that I'll tell you about that. Many studies do show that there are some deficiencies in the brain of a person that stutters, at least the people that they've studied. There are some deficiencies in those speech centers. But here's the good news. The good news is that our brains are able to be retrained, rewired, so that not only can you learn to speak smoothly and fluently, you can actually learn to become an excellent speaker. For more than 20-some years, I stuttered, and there are many, many other people who've stuttered and who are now excellent speakers. So you can learn to speak well. Not only did I stutter for many years, but I've worked with and I've trained many people who've stuttered for decades, and they've tried all kinds of programs. And now they're getting better jobs, they're having better relationships. And I know you're probably saying, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So what I want to do is to challenge you to try this for yourself. Right? If you try it, and you really follow what I recommend, then if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you your money back. But you really have to be serious. You got to accept 100% responsibility for doing the work. And the work is not impossible to do. I'm not asking you to do something 8 hours or 12 hours for 7 days. This is stuff that you can do, right? You can do this. If you really want your life to be different, if you really want to change your speech, which will change your life, right? And change the lives of those around you, then you can do this. So, here's what I want to do. I want to invite you to read the information that's probably around this video. I want you to really think about this and ask yourself, does this make sense? The Pro 90D speech system will address both the psychology of stuttering and speech as well as the physiology. And believe me, both are important. Maybe for very, very young children, the psychology is not as important. But if you're a teen and you're an adult, there is a psychological dimension to stuttering and to speaking well, and it has to be addressed. And quite often, speech therapists are not equipped, they're not trained to address the psychological aspect, right? Now you're probably wondering, well, Michael, what's your background? Are you a psychotherapist? Are you licensed? No, I'm not. I'm a speech coach. So you say, okay, then I'm not going to listen anymore. But here's the thing. Some of the greatest inventions in the world have been made by people who were not formally trained in that area. So don't just listen to me. Don't look at my credentials. What I want you to do is I want you to look at my track record. I want you to look at my experience, and I want you to look at your own experience and say, does this make sense? Does this work? I want you to try it. In fact, you can even try a lot of my free stuff and see if it doesn't improve your speech, right? Prove it to yourself. Don't just listen to me. Don't listen to someone. Don't listen to the reviews. I want you to prove it for yourself, okay? If it makes sense to you and you say, well, yes, I have been able to do this, then I want you to go ahead and enroll in this course, because I guarantee you, if you follow my recommendations, which are constantly improving, I'm constantly focusing them, making this system more efficient and more effective, if you follow them, I promise you, you're going to see dramatic changes in your speech. And what that means for your life is you're going to be able to do things you dreamed of doing. I've had people go through this course, and again, they were just about to do their board exams. They've spent a lot of money and time going through working on their PhD or becoming a medical doctor. They had board exams, went through the course, wrote to me, thank you, Michael. Or getting jobs. Jobs, weren't able to get the jobs, went through the course, all of a sudden, boom, they were able to get the job. So I've had thousands and thousands, I mean, I've heard from thousands and thousands of people who've gone through this course, and this has changed. In fact, a lady just told me yesterday, you're changing a lot of lives. So what I want to challenge you to do now is to read the information on this page and think for yourself. Ask yourself, does this make sense? And then I want to challenge you to jump into this course and to follow it and to try it. This is a new version of the Pro 90D 3.0 focus. It is more streamlined, and I've reconfigured the course so that you can jump right in and get right to the stuff that's going to have the most impact and the fastest impact on your speech. And then there's supplementary information that just continues to build the foundation to help you address the psychology as well as the physiology of speech and stuttering. I promise you this will work for you if you work it. If you take full responsibility for your life and for your speech, and you understand that this is not going to be easy, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you believe that it will work, and you really put in the time and effort and you're consistent, this will happen for you a lot faster than what you can imagine. So thank you very much for sticking here with me. My name is Michael Williams, and I hope to see you inside the course.